Ferrari has come out firing. They say that Chinese electric cars are elephants, as in they are grossly overweight and obese. However, the irony of what they're saying is that Ferrari doesn't appear to have any idea about what Chinese car makers are building and the weights of their cars versus the weight of Ferrari's new EV. In fact, this is kind of an embarrassing Trumpian statement from Ferrari. I bet they're wishing right now that that they hadn't have said this, because it really does sound kind of stupid. Ferrari yesterday said that, really, they actually said that, what is the joke? What do you feel when you drive this kind of car? They are elephants because you need very big engines and a very big battery. The irony of Ferrari's statements is that its new EV has an even bigger battery. It has, in fact, a battery so big, it's as big as the battery in Tesla's Cybertruck. It's a 122 kilowatt hour battery, and it's much bigger than the battery in the Chinese EVs that Ferrari was going after with this statement. Truly, truly bizarre. I mean, honestly. So what actually happened? Well, here's the thing. Ferrari just unveiled their new electric car. I watched the video that you might have seen it by now. Top Gear did a video on it. It was very uninformative. In fact, the Top Gear video appeared to be riddled with errors. Guys, I do make some errors from time to time, no doubt about it. But things like they claim it has the highest energy density batteries in the world at 195 watt-hours per kilogram, saying that the rematch Naviro's batteries have 165 watt-hours per kilogram energy density. I mean, come on. That's just wild. The industry doesn't quote energy density at the pack level. They quote it at the cell level. And so I think, clearly people have been very baffled by some parts of the video. And to be honest, I was a bit baffled by the car itself, which we never got to see, really. We just got to hear about the amazing technology, which doesn't really sound all that amazing. It's good, but it's certainly no better than anything coming out of China, that's for sure. Ferrari's new Elettrica crossover, it'll have 986 horsepower. That's 735 kilowatt. But Ferrari has confirmed it will not make as much power as the new breed of rapid Chinese electric cars. For example, BYD's their current electric sedan, it has 1,000 kilowatt, meaning it has 265 kilowatt more than Ferrari's crossover. And of course, BYD's supercar has 3,000 horsepower. 3,000. That's the one that broke the world speed record. Ferrari said this: you can see on the market some electric cars that already have 2,000 horsepower. It's very easy and simple to create that power with an electric engine. So you can see in the market a lot of companies that have never done cars, and now they're able to produce a car with 1,000 horsepower. Now, actually respond to what Ferrari's claiming. Is it very easy and very simple to create that power with an electric engine? Well, Ferrari's engineers then went on to say that the only way you can actually create that kind of power in an electric vehicle is by using massive engines, which is very much false. Mercedes-Benz might actually have to have a talk to Ferrari about that, considering they actually own an engine company that makes engines which weigh 13 kilograms and have 650 horsepower each. Yeah. Compared to the weight of a 12-cylinder Ferrari, that's about 600 kilos lighter. I mean, 12 kilos is not a lot of weight. Anyhow, the other thing here. Now, can anyone actually make a car, EV or otherwise, or internal combustion, with more than 1,000 horsepower? Well, actually, yes. To be honest, for the last 20 years, that's been possible. Not just with EVs, with internal combustion cars. I mean, you can easily buy engines from someone else. Yeah, manufacturers have been doing this for a long time. You can stick turbos on them, you can stick superchargers on them, make them really big. You can buy crate engines from General Motors that are massive 7-litre V8s, stick a supercharger on that, you're going to get pretty much 1,000 horsepower. I've seen it. I've seen it myself for more than a decade. So this concept that this is only EVs that are capable of, having new car brands come to market, putting out massive horsepower vehicles, is actually completely false. Ferrari didn't mention that Xiaomi is the car company they were probably referring to, potentially BYD as well, or its 1,526 horsepower Xiaomi SU7 Ultra. But that might be the car that is one of the cars that they're thinking about, especially seeing as Ferrari was shown to have a SU7 They purchased one in China and shipped it to their headquarters in Maranello in Italy. So they could also be referencing BYD's new supercar with 2,977 horsepower. That's 2,220 kilowatt. That's the Yangwang U9 Extreme. And it did 308 miles an hour or 491 kilometers an hour at the Volkswagen test track, breaking the Bugatti Chiron Supersport 300's. It's actually a record. So it's the fastest car in the world now is electric, both in the quarter mile and for top speed. But they went on to say this, like I said. But what is the joke? What do you feel when you drive this kind of car? Well, you feel scared and you feel exhilarated. It's a lot of fun, I can tell you. I've driven them. I haven't driven the SU7 Ultra, but I've driven the Zeekr 001 FR, which has about 1,300 horsepower. And I can tell you right now, it's a lot more fun than you'd think. And you definitely do feel something, contrary to what Ferrari is saying. But Ferrari went on to say these cars are elephants because you need very big engines and a very big battery. It's actually not accurate. You don't need big motors at all for electric cars. That's the big advantage of an EV versus an internal combustion car. You don't need an enormous 7-litre V8 to put out huge amounts of power. And of course, the fact that Ferrari themselves are, their new SUV is going to be monstrously heavy because of the fact that it has a 122 kilowatt hour battery and several motors as well to produce quite a lot of power, seem to suggest that Ferrari are being a little bit rude here in terms of, what's the word that comes to mind here? Hypocrisy. This is what I call hypocrisy. A combination of a 282 horsepower front axle, that's 210 kilowatt, from the F80 supercar, and 831 horsepower or 620 kilowatt from the rear motors will give the Ferrari, their new electric car, more than 986 horsepower. They say it'll do 0 to 100 or 0 to 62 miles an hour in 2.5 seconds, which to be fair is kind of slow. And the reason I say that is because, for example, the new Zeekr 001, it's a kind of an SUV / station wagon. Well, for $38,000 US, you can get one of those. And I can tell you now, they're pretty impressive. They can charge from 10 to 80% in 7 minutes. 1,200 kilowatt fast charging. And they can do 0 to 100 in 2.8 seconds. Just a tiny bit slower than this Ferrari electric supercar. But at $38,000 US, you could probably buy 20 of them for the price of a Ferrari SUV. Now, it's kind of ironic also to hear Ferrari, lambast Chinese automakers for high-powered cars, considering Ferrari have been pushing outputs, acceleration, speed, and horsepower to new highs every single year. And now they're talking about how pointless modern fast cars are. Guys, what are your thoughts? Do you agree with Ferrari? I mean, to some degree, I think Ferrari have a point in terms of some EVs can be too heavy. For example, BYD's supercar, I do think it's too heavy. It weighs about 2,500 kilos. But remember, this is the first generation. The second generation will be lighter and faster and more efficient and faster. Did I mention faster? Holy hell. You know what? What's going to happen when EVs are twice as fast as what they are today? They will be. It's just a matter of time. I don't think I'll be able to drive one. I don't think I'll be able to even test them. Guys, I did throw up after testing one of the fastest EVs I've ever driven. I can tell you now, you certainly are going to feel something when you drive one. What are your thoughts? Thanks for watching.